Good afternoon, crews. It's just before 2 o'clock here at the start of this update. The winter storm warnings continue in effect for a good part of Michigan, and I wanted to kind of give you an update and see where things are going for the second half of the day as far as temperatures and precipitation are concerned. The surface map here, courtesy of the Weather Channel, shows the big storm still well down to the south over the areas south of St. Louis, and that is coming up toward the northeast. It will cross the state here over the next 24 hours, and that's going to bring some much milder air up this way for a time before that gets off to the northeast and cool air winds out once more. You can see on this map, and we're going to zoom in on radar in a second, but freezing rain, sleet mix well over southern Michigan at this point, covering a large area. Snow to the north from Port Huron up towards Saginaw and Muskegon, and continuing to move northward into the cold air. Areas south of the state line, though, showing some signs of rain and some fairly steady rain in places. There's also a big dry area right over the eastern portion of Illinois and the western portion of Ohio. We're going to zoom in on that too. Take a look at temperatures, see if this is an indication that maybe as far as our southern Michigan counties go, there's going to be a diminishment rather early to the frozen precipitation. Zooming in on the radar map closer to the region here, we can see the pink area is the area of frozen precipitation. A lot of freezing rain and icing in this area. The blue area, some snow mixed with sleet and freezing rain, a little more solid precipitation. Again, that covering all of Michigan at this time. But immediately to the south, I mean, we're talking about Toledo, even the Chicago suburbs to the south. We're looking at Fort Wayne. All those places starting to show some green and some more steady rain. And there's that open spot down through the midsection once again that we talked about, eastern Indiana, western and northwestern Ohio, and that's dry. That's going to, should it move on through here, which it gives every indication that it's not filling in. It is filling in further to the south, but it looks like we're going to have a couple of dry hours in there, and that may bring temperatures up just enough to get us to the freezing mark and just above, and that could very well spell an end to the freezing situation here before sunset if that all goes according to plan. A quick look down to the south across northern Ohio and northern Indiana. These are where the conditions are as of 1 o'clock. We've been waiting for the 2 o'clock observations. They haven't come in yet, but even at 1 o'clock, the temperatures all above freezing, very few exceptions. Detroit Metro at 30 degrees, Mansfield at 32, and South Bend right at 30. But everybody else, freezing and above, and that air continues to flow this way. So I think by the time we get to the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock observations, everything south of us is going to be above freezing, and that continues to move this way. So that's an indication to us that we may be at the end of the frozen precipitation round here, at least across the southern counties, by the time we get to 3, 4 o'clock. Now, areas Lansing to the north, a little bit of a different story. Here are the 1 o'clock observations for the Lansing and southern Michigan areas, and again, here's the big difference in temperature. Lansing in at 27, Battle Creek 27, Grand Rapids 26, Kalamazoo 29. Areas all off to the west and the north a bit are still well below freezing and are going to take several hours for that warm-up to come into play. So while we're looking at late afternoon and to the frozen precipitation across southeast Michigan, south central Michigan, probably going to take until the later evening hours for the transition to occur from freezing rain over to regular rain through the nighttime. All of this being said, weather briefings here, we are going to continue with our storm warnings as they've been posted to date. Low to moderate impact situation across southeast Michigan and a moderate impact across mid-Michigan, with the icing conditions lasting longer across central Michigan and western Michigan into the 8, 9 p.m. time frame, while in the Detroit metro, Ann Arbor areas coming to an end a little bit sooner with that warmer air getting in place earlier. Probably, I would guess, 4 or 5 o'clock before the bulk of the freezing is complete around here. So that is what we've got in store for the moment. Please check back with us, and we'll keep you up to date on the latest.